Hi, I'm Cassie Veith, and in this video series, we're going to be going over exercises for diastasis recti, what it is, how you get it, and what you can begin doing now to reverse it. Diastasis recti is simply abdominal separation. And the most common client that will come to me is a woman that has gone through a pregnancy who afterwards her doctor notifies her that her abdominal walls have separated, allowing for this space in between. But I also see it in men as well because they've adopted the habit of distending the belly anytime they want to generate force in their core. Anytime they bear down, they'll distend instead of contracting. And as you can see or obviously understand, a woman can develop the same habit, and so it's important for us to properly relearn how to generate force. When I work with men who don't even know they've got the issue, say I've got them on their back doing abdominal exercises, what I'll see is this telltale tenting between their separated muscles, which means that when they want to generate force through their core, they are pushing out. They are distending the belly. We really need to relearn that, and that is what a woman's doctor will be talking about when she's warned her that you have to do the right exercises. Make sure you're not doing it wrong. And then many people have this anterior tilt in their pelvis, creating a very large arch in their low back. And if that's the case for you, I'll show you how to figure that out and how to start stretching so that you can get into a neutral spine position. This is critical because you will not be able to activate the lower abdominal muscles if you're in this position, and we need to use those lower abdominal muscles so we can do all the rest of the exercises in this series to begin bringing these separated muscles together. So now let's move on to the 4 ways you will learn to locate, activate, relearn, and stretch. Let's start by laying on your back on the floor with your knees bent, and then the goal is to press your low back into the floor. All right? Once again, those of you with this anterior tilt might struggle with that. You'll know if you can get your hand underneath your low back that you've got this large arch that we need to correct. If you cannot squeeze your bottom to get your low back onto the floor, if you can still get your hand under there, try lifting a knee up, squeezing your bottom, and that should help get the back flush. You can also press your feet into the floor and then experiment with how low you can get this leg while maintaining the low back onto the floor. Now let's relearn some things. I would like you to push into the muscles that are right above your pubic bone and between your hip bones, and then look and see if you are distending the belly. Okay, we want to squeeze the bottom, pull the belly button in, maintain this low back against the floor, and then by touching as well, we are reconnecting the brain to the proper muscles. All right, so by pushing, you will activate. By watching, you'll make sure you're relearning. And just hold this for greater and greater lengths of time over the next several weeks. Pressing the low back, pushing, make sure the right muscles are activated, making sure you're not pushing the belly up, that you're not getting this tenting beneath your shirt. All right? So the next exercise will be the same things actually, but just seated in a chair. So sit up against the back of the chair, once again, squeezing your bottom to press your low back into the seat. Press your feet into the floor. look for the telltale sign of pushing out. Make sure you pull it in. Push on the right muscles to make sure they're tight and activated. Okay, exhale. Learning to hold this correct position for longer and longer periods of time. And thirdly, you can use a wall, standing with your back pressed against the wall, using the same rules. Getting the low back pressed, use your fingers, push on your lower abdominals, and looking to make sure you're not distending the belly, but you're pulling it in. And fourth is on your knees, okay? Using the same rules. Squeeze the bottom, check, pull in the belly. It's real easy to push it out, so use your eyes to make sure you're squeezing the butt and gut together. And then press on the lower abdominals. And then the magic. Lean back slightly. Keep going over that whole inventory. You will feel these rectus femoris and hip flexor muscles. These are the muscles that are partially responsible for pulling you into this anterior pelvic tilt. So that's the first way to get a stretch beginning. Then every day, do the cat and cow from yoga. You're on your hands and knees, tucking the tailbone under, press your hands into the floor, and lifting that spine. This is a wonderful way to start stretching to help correct that anterior pelvic tilt. Do the opposite though, do the cow. So you stick your hind end up, and then exhale and perform the tuck. Perform that numerous times every day, along with all the one or two of these other exercises with plenty of holds, because what you're actually looking for here is consistency, where it becomes second nature for you to contract your abdominals and your core whenever you need to activate force. All right, so take your time, locate, activating, looking, touching, and getting some consistency. And like and subscribe so you find out when this second video is ready. But take your time with this first one.